Here we go again. Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Welcome to Open. Coming up on today's show, April is Garifuna Heritage Month, and we're here from a children's book author who is doing her best to educate the next generation about Garifuna culture and her latest book release. Then we'll speak to a multidisciplinary artist and improviser who's creating experimental art for her viewing audience in so many ways, more ways than one. After that, we'll hear from one of BronxNet's very own Creative Rebuilds New York artists who will share her latest work on virtual augmented reality art. And finally, we'll sit down with the co-founder of Diversity Empowered LLC to learn about somebody that has defied all odds. So stay tuned. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and we're wide open. Here we go. Hey, how are you? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is a self-taught paint illustrator and children's book author. She joins us to speak about the release of her latest book, Garifuna and Culture and Its People, and highlight the importance of educating the next generation of Garifuna children on their roots. So please welcome to the show, Isidra Sabio. Isidra, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Good, good. You know, I've experienced the Garifuna culture years ago. We were doing a parade. I think it was Bronx Week for the first time years ago. I think Junior was the borough president. And
Yes,
you guys came up in the parade and everything, and we were announcing, and I had to pronounce it. I pronounced the name a couple of different ways at first, and I said, oh, okay. And Junior said, Garifuna. And I said,
yes.
oh, I got it now. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and about the Garifuna culture.
Yeah, hi. My name is Isidra Sabio. As you mentioned, I just released a book that is called Garifuna, A Culture and Its People.
Uh-huh.
And I think for people to understand exactly what it is, I'm from Honduras. I'm part of a Afro-Indigenous group called Garifuna. It's a mixture of African people and indigenous people that happened in the Caribbean hundreds of years ago. So we are a mixture of those two cultures. So we are phenotypically African, but most of our culture and our language are indigenous. And we are indigenous to the Americas. So this group didn't exist anywhere but in the Americas. And then we were exiled from St. Vincent to Honduras before Honduras was an independent country of
Yeah.
Central America. So this book was created as an effort to start showing and educating kids about the history, traditions of the Garifuna people, at an early age.
Yeah.
So we don't have to wait until they become older, but they can start at 4 or 5 years old understanding the Garifuna culture.
Yeah, I gotta put you in my book, People to Know in Black History and Beyond. I'm working on volume number 5, I think, on this. Volume number 4. This is part of a trilogy. But not to mention my book, I just want to put you in there. We have to talk about the Garifuna culture. So that's, and speaking about indigenous peoples from Honduras, that has to be in my book too, as well as yours. So
Ex-
what piqued your interest in putting the pen to the paper and writing that book?
I'm a mother of a child that
Yeah.
that was born and raised that is here in the United States, and I've been looking for years for a way to show him and also start speaking to him about his cultural traditions and also his cultural heritage, and that has been kind of like the idea behind this book. It's just like it's me thinking about how to explain my own children and kids in my family about their own cultural traditions. And I think that through simple illustrations and simple words, you are able to transmit and convey very complex ideas areas of,
Yeah.
our unique culture.
How important is that? Because a lot of cultures live in New York City. This is a melting pot here. And in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you are, know where you've been to know where you're going. And I
Ex-
think it's extremely important to find out about your culture so that it, so it can help move you forward in what you need to do in life.
Exactly. And I think that is the point that sometimes that we fail when we speak about culture, because I do believe, and it has been proven that when a child has a strong sense of their cultural heritage, they also have a higher self-image, and also they have a higher self-esteem. When a child has a higher self-esteem, they usually do better
Yeah.
in school. Um, they are better citizens. So I think that all of that is correlated in a way that we don't understand. And that is one of the important reasons. Being in a melting pot with so many cultures, it's important for him to understand where he comes from.
Yeah.
In order to know what he has accomplished as he moves forward in life.
Exactly. Exactly. So, what are the significant examples of Garifuna students? You have an outreach going out to the schools or into the community?
Yes, and my main goal, I published this book in English and Spanish. My main goal is to be able to bring these books back to our Garifuna communities back in Central America. Um, also because the majority of people are there, and the Garifuna history is not being currently taught in school.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a way to kind of like go around the system and be able to do something as an individual, because there are many kids that yes, they are exposed to the culture, but also they are not as informed about the history of our communities.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reasons why I created this book, besides being able to explain that to my son here, is for the kids back home also to be able to have access to it and understand where they come from, and understand that we are part of a unique culture, that we have, survived and flourished despite many hurdles that we have suffered through history.
Yeah. Way back before Independence Day, right? Way
Yes,
back.
yeah,
So,
exactly. And I think that that's important. So if we have been part of this society and we have contributed, and it have been, is well documented that the Garifuna people was part of the independence fight for those countries. So before those countries became countries, the Garifuna people were there and they fought for their independence
mm.
from, Spain and other European communities.
So we have Garifuna Heritage Month upon us. Talk about it. What are we doing?
Yes, Garifuna Heritage Month. Um, I think that that is a reflection of the work that many nonprofit organizations have been doing through the years, I think decades. Just recognizing that we are present, that we exist, that we are part of the community, that we influence also the culture of New York City as a melting pot, as you mentioned it. New York has the highest number of Garifuna people outside of Central America. So we, as just they estimate that it's around 200,000. So we have a big influence when it comes to electing officials. We are part of the voting blocks
Mm-hmm.
of New York City. So I think that this month is special because it recognizes the existence of this community and the impact that it has in the city. There are many, activities program for this month. The organizations working on them is the Garifuna Coalition. They have been working with the Bronx Borough President. They opened the Garifuna Heritage Month. Also, we have Hondureños contra el SIDA too. They are doing other set of activities. So, you know, uh, get close to these organizations and you're going to find out what the work that they are doing to highlight the existence of the Garifuna community in New York.
All right, so now you have to say that in Spanish. We'll just say happy Garifuna Heritage Month and then some
Feliz
special words behind that. Ready? One, two, three.
Sí, feliz mes de la herencia garífuna en la ciudad de Nueva York. Hay muchas actividades programadas y yo creo que esta es la culminación de los esfuerzos que han hecho muchas organizaciones sin fines de lucro en Nueva York para traer atención hacia estas comunidades que viven en Nueva York y que tienen influencia en la elección de los candidatos, de elección pública en la ciudad. Y yo creo que es importante resaltar la existencia de estas comunidades dentro de lo que es la sociedad de Nueva York.
Woo! There we go. Beautiful. See how that culture is? It's Indian and African, right?
Yeah, exactly. And because of the geographical location, so we have influence also from Spanish. So we are an indigenous culture, African culture, but also we have the Hispanic culture
Yeah.
because of the geographical location. And I think it's important to highlight the Garifuna is one of the Afro-descendant communities throughout Latin America. It's estimated that more than 130 million Afro-descendants live in the Americas, all the way from Mexico to the Patagonia in Argentina. So I think this is just one of many conversations regarding the existence of the Afro-descendants, in this case, the Garifuna people.
Beautiful. Before we go, tell us a little bit more about the book, where we can get it, and give us a quick synopsis about what's in that book again. I know it's about the heritage of Garifuna, the Garifuna culture, but just from your point of view.
Yes, exactly. In this book, I use two main characters. Their name is Anne and David. They are siblings, and for the first time, they are traveling to Central America to visit their family members.
Yeah.
And to that visit, they discover their Garifuna culture. They discover the traditions. They discover the cultural history. Also, they learn to appreciate the effort that the ancestors did in order for them to be what they are, and how they connect with that culture, and how that becomes like a building block for their lives. It's written in simple terms. It's available on Amazon. You only have to put either Isidra Sabio or Garifuna, a culture and its people, and you are going to be able to find it very easily. Again, it's just an introduction. It is not just for Garifuna kids, but I do believe that books are always a window and a mirror. A window is because it allows you to see what other cultures do, and a mirror is for you to be able to see yourself reflected in books.
Yeah.
And that has been one of my main goals, is to see kids like my kid and like many other kids that I know reflected in books in a positive way.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to hear you speak about it, and share this wonderful information. You're like a trinity. The culture is like a trinity. It's African, it's Indian, and it's Spaniard. All in one that makes up the beautiful Garifuna people and the beautiful Garifuna culture.
Yes, and I think important to highlight is the UNESCO declared the Garifuna culture in a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity, because of its uniqueness, and also in an effort to safeguard that culture for future generations. So I think that this book fits in that objective.
Beautiful. Where can we go to get more information? You have it on the website, got social media going on?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram. I constantly post there. Instagram, Isidra Sabio, all together. You're gonna be able to find me there. We're working on a website to be able to put everything together that I'm working on, like paintings, illustrations, books, and also other elements that I use to advocate and also bring awareness of the Afro-descendant communities in Latin America, and also the Garifuna community.
Yeah. Got another one coming up? Got another book planning? We'll talk about it. You're welcome to come on and share with us again, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And giving the opportunity to speak about this book. I appreciate it.
Well, we're going to do it some more. Isidra Sabio, author, Garifuna, a culture and its people. Thank you so much, Isidra.
This has been great. It was fun.
You got it. All right. We'll take a quick break. I've got more culture coming up next, right here on Open.
Congratulations to BronxNet on its 30th anniversary. And I'm blessed that I was here shortly after the beginning of BronxNet. At that time, I took the field and studio classes, and I spent a lot of time helping other people have shows before I put my toe in the water and decided to have a show for myself. For those of you who are familiar with the Blackwash Televised Art Gallery, that was my first show on my own. And now I am pumping up La Finca del Sur, doing Eating Healthy with La Finca del Sur on BronxNet's Channel 70. And I appreciate everyone watching.
And welcome back. Our next artist she's an artist, but she's a multidisciplinary artist and improviser. She's with us to speak about how she uses various art mediums to connect with her audience and promote her upcoming projects. So please welcome to the show, Bonita Oliver. Bonita, welcome.
Hello, Dr. Bob. It's so good to see you again.
Bonita, I know you.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great, and I'm marveling at your previous guest too and the work that she's doing. I actually did not know much about the Garifuna culture, so this was great.
And Bonita, a lot of people don't, but a lot of people come through the same thing. Like Puerto Rico, the Indian, Spaniard, and African. The Dominican Republic, and there's a lot of cultures that are like that have that trinity, that three. And Honduras is one of the Garifuna people are part of that culture.
Yes, it's beautiful. And I love this kind of work that people are doing now to really bring awareness to the diversity of culture that we have in this world. And my work is a bit about that as well. I really have a passion for telling stories that have seen less exposure. We definitely, as you said, we are not going to know where we're going if we don't know where we've been, if we don't know who we are. And by widening our perception, by widening our exposure to different cultures, we get a more expansive view of the world and of ourselves and of our potential collectively.
And that's what piques my curiosity to want to put those things in a book like this, volume 1, 2, and 3. People to know in Black history and beyond, not only Black people, not only people whose shoulders we stood on, and people who we celebrate each and every February for Black History Month, but beyond that. And
exactly.
I try to put all of that in here. So it's wonderful speaking to people like that and people like you.
Yes, I can't wait to read your book when they come out, your books. So I have a couple of projects coming up right now. One is on April 3rd at Chelsea Factory. It's co-presented with ICE, the International Contemporary Ensemble. Right. The piece is called For Namesake. And I'm really wanting to look at our surnames, take a look at our last names, our surnames.
Yes.
Because our surnames, they tell a story about the dynamics of power, also about the abuses of power. It's like getting a map of what has been done, to people and to the land. So I'm very curious about what our last names say about our relationship as humans with the earth and with each other.
Yeah. So when you say you're an improviser and multidisciplinarian, speak to us about that.
Yeah, so I create works that usually integrate different mediums. I create immersive, interactive experiences for audiences that incorporate sound, movement, storytelling, sometimes visual art as well. And I feel that this reaches people on multiple levels because everyone is different, right? We all
Yeah.
have a different way of understanding our world based on who we are as individuals. Some people resonate more with sound.
Yeah.
Some people are not able to hear, but they are able to see. And others are not able to see, but you're able to feel, you're able to touch.
Yes.
You know, have multiple senses. And so I like to create art that can reach people through our multiple senses.
Ah, yeah.
I think that that is definitely something that can reach people across generations, across cultures,
Yeah.
and it makes the work sink in more deeply.
And how are you doing this? Explain it to us. How are you putting all of this together to be
So
able to
it all,
touch off on all the senses?
yeah, so it all depends on the story that I'm telling. You
Uh,
know, whatever story I'm telling, it informs me on what mediums I should be using. So
yeah.
for this piece, this work that I'm presenting on April 3rd, this one is integrating sound and visual art. And like I said, it's incorporating a little bit of interactivity. I'm engaging people to look with curiosity into their origins of their own surnames and uncover, you know, some of the stories that their surname tells about their lineage, sometimes not connected to their genetic lineage at all.
Ah,
For example, my mother's surname or my father's surname, they are not necessarily connected to their genetic roots. My parents are people who descended from people who were enslaved.
yeah.
And sometimes we took on the names of our enslavers, or there was just a name that we'd heard, and we would apply that last name to ourselves once we became legal citizens. So it doesn't necessarily have any connection to the roots of to our genetic roots, but it does tell a story about, you know, the origins of that surname can tell a story about how we came to be who we are in another way.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you are the descendant of someone who is enslaved, you can trace that name to the person who might have owned your ancestor. And then you can
Yeah.
go back there and uncover a lot more about your history. And I think it's important to know these things, you know, at this time that there's a lot of backlash to having a more integrated history, a more holistic and truthful telling of history. We need to know these things. I'm trying to engage audiences in a way that they are taking it upon themselves to do their research, learn their history in a
Yeah.
very personal way.
I interviewed a young man a long time ago by the name of Dr. Rick Kittles. And of course, he came up with your how you can trace your lineage. And he's still out there. I have him in one of I think my first book, People to Know in Black History and Beyond. I keep mentioning it because I never really promote my own stuff. I promote everybody else's stuff. But I see
But
little
it sounds like,
opportunities just to mention it and what people are saying. I can throw it in there. But he traces your lineage all the way back to different parts of the country, even Africa. Um, if you were to trace your name back, your last name Oliver, how far would it go back? But you would able to see where it connected
yes.
and go
And
back from there.
yes, interestingly, a lot of our last names have different variations. They have merged to become one familiar last name. For example, my last name, Oliver, but they have two different stems originating from two separate meanings. For
Right.
example, Oliver could refer to someone who was in, you know, Rome, who was overseeing olive trees, but also it could have origin that are from Old Norse,
Yeah.
and that has a totally different meaning. The name Oliver actually would have a different spelling, a different pronunciation, and it would refer to father or ancestor.
Hmm.
So another variation of the roots of Oliver um, means elf army. So three different meanings coming from three different origins, but then later kind of
Hmm.
converging to become one name that is more commonly used. And this is the case with many surnames. For example, Lee, your name Lee. it has different origins. It could be Old English origin, where it means like a clearing in the land in a forest, or it could be rooted in the Chinese dynasty of, the in the 6th century, with the roots of Li, Li, then changing to Lee as it became Americanized.
And then
for
the
example.
Ligh. Yeah.
Exactly, lay. So there's many different variants. So I just find that fascinating. And it also, when you look at this, you can see how we're all tied together. You can also see how some of our sometimes problematic history, has brought us together. And I just think it's another way, we're many of us who are trying to do work of ancestral healing, of reckoning, of kind of setting a new trajectory, correcting the errors of the past.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need a way in, and this is one other way in.
Yeah.
To look at the origins of your name and
Beautiful.
to see that there's another way forward. Once you look back, like you said, you can set a trajectory from a new direction for a new way to approach the way you move through life.
Yeah.
With more consciousness.
And what are these pictures here? Explain these.
So that was from a performance that I did in the summer of 2023, so just this past summer, at the Pleasant Village Community Garden. This was an interactive work inspired by the poem Coal by one of my favorites, Audre Lorde.
Yeah.
And this was really an examination of the power of words in augmenting and restricting our sense of self and other. And I was particularly looking at it through the lens of the word Black, how people relate to the word Black, how there are different connotations to the word Black. And so with this piece, I invited the audience in to kind of riff on that word and take inspiration from Audre Lorde's poem. It incorporated, again, sound and movement, and it was also bringing awareness to the Black people in the community of the Pleasant Village Garden and the work that they have done to hold on to this land, this garden space that has brought so much peace to the community. So
beautiful.
So what you were saying.
So a lot of the stuff that you're going to do, April 3rd, you got for Namesake coming up, right? Where's that going to be held?
Yeah. So that is going to be at Chelsea Factory on April 3rd at 7:30 p.m. And it is a co-presentation by Chelsea Factory and the International Contemporary Ensemble, who will be performing some of my composed music, and my visual artwork will also be shown. And again, this is another interactive piece. It's, again, inviting the audience to explore their own surname origins and bringing kind of us together in collective ritual.
And you explain a lot of this on your website?
Yes.
And through social media? And what is that?
BonitaOliver.com. I am on BonitaOliver.com. You can also contact me and join my community. I'm also a VR storyteller. I hold virtual reality gatherings and interactive performances in my VR spaces. So if you contact me and join the community, you will be made aware of any upcoming events that I have. And I hope that you do sign up and join me.
Beautiful. Now, are we going to do a new song about Bonita Oliver instead of Bonita Applebaum? No.
Well, you can't replace the tribe.
It'll be a remix version. Bonita, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, all right?
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll see you again. April 3rd for Namesake. All right. Post it up. We'll check it out. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break right here. I've got more open. It's all coming your way. Coming up next.
30 years of BronxNet, 4 years of Modern Odyssey. Broadcasting stories that may inspire you, untold or underreported stories. BronxNet, your story is heard. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching Modern Odyssey on BronxNet.
Thank you, BronxNet. Congratulations on 30 years. What an amazing accomplishment. On behalf of myself, Alina Dow, and I represent the Dow Twins and the Dow Twins Show, who are young producers. They started, I think, when they were 11, and now they're 14. They started making 30-second little fun facts, and now they are doing 30-minute shows. And it goes to a testament of how much you guys do in the Bronx to make young people want to continue to be involved. I wish you 30 more amazing years and beyond. Thank you for what you do.
And welcome back. Our next guest is one of BronxNet's creatives, Rebuild New York artists, and she's an award-winning artist and a published poet, and she joins us to speak about the latest developments in her work in immersive art and technology. So please welcome to the show, Trish Gianakis. Trish, how are you? Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I was pointing to that empty chair over there because you're always here live, and
I
but
know.
where are you now?
I'm at my office, studio. You can see some of my new pieces behind me that I've been working on the last couple of weeks. I've been feverishly working.
Yeah. Now you're dealing with terms as far as immersive art and technology. Explain that, and explain a little bit about what you do and how you put it all together.
Well, I am a traditional artist as well as a digital artist. So with my immersive art, I created engaging experiences with my art. Sometimes I'll do it through augmented reality with the pieces behind me, or I generate a QR code and it turns the artwork into animations. And I also work in virtual reality. And I create in VR headsets, and I also work in 3D programming to make virtual reality environments. So that's my traditional work. I also do Raku, which is a sculpture. That's one of my new pieces that just got written up in Novarum Arts magazine.
Whoa, look at that.
And that's the painting behind me. I just finished this one.
Oh, wow.
And I combine my digital painting skills with, and then these pieces I printed out on canvas and painted into them as well.
Wow.
So I'm painting in two mediums as well. So it's kind of exciting.
Great work. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Thank you. I'm right-handed.
All right. Now, listen, I heard that you were in Watchung, New Jersey. What happened there?
Well, I have a solo show on April 7th. And I will have all these new paintings on display, as well as I'll have a TV screen with my immersive world that I created, Mother Earth, that is in virtual reality. And I'll have my headset there demoing it. And I'll have the physical pieces of those Be Gentle, I'm Fierce sculptures, also the titles of that series with the Raku sculptures.
Now, I like that immersive reality. When you were here, I put the headsets on and I was able to walk around. I just had to be careful of not walking into something.
Right. Well, this is a show I have up right now in Frame, a virtual reality show. And that's also showing some of the pieces that are going to be in Watchung. But, what's nice about the virtual shows that I do, I can have people over from all over the world. So this is an exhibit that's up right now in the program frame.io.
Now, when you put these together, people can watch from all over the world virtually?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How's it then? You put a message out saying, hey, this is what we have going on at this particular time, date and time?
Well, that particular gallery space is XR Women, which I'm a member of.
Yeah.
And XR Women, I'm the first artist to show in their new gallery. So they promoted the show. I also promoted it on other channels. Like I usually promote in Twitter, LinkedIn, and I send out press releases. Oh, this piece you're showing right now, my art got accepted at NFT NYC.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I made a
And they
note
had a
right here. I heard you
contest.
talking a little while ago, and you were talking about NFTs and something
Yeah.
that's going to happen April the 4th. This is what we're talking about?
Yeah, so that's the general admission ticket.
Uh-huh.
People had to vote for it to be one of the tickets, but the art got accepted in the group show. I think there's around 3,400 artists in the show from all over the world as well. So it's pretty exciting to also get my work kind of one of the tickets. So that's kind of fun. And they're free. They give out the NFTs at NFT NYC when your art gets
Yeah.
produced and accepted into the showcase.
And that's going to be at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City?
Correct. It runs from the 4th to, I believe, the 8th.
Yeah.
Or no, the 6th.
Beautiful.
6th. Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Great. Maybe I'll walk on over there and just take a look. And you're going to be in an offside.
Well, let me know. I have to get you a ticket.
Okay.
I'll have to get you a ticket.
Okay. No
So
problem.
let me know.
So,
Yeah.
so you did the Watchung, New Jersey thing, and the NFT thing is April 4th. Anything else coming up that we should know about?
Well, I'm also going to be at NYVR Meetup, April 11th, and that'll be at the Glimpse Group. I'll have my VR headset, and I'll be demoing my art worlds that I create for people to go into.
Beautiful. And if
That's
I come,
gonna be
I'm
a
going to
lot of fun.
definitely put those headsets on. I want to go into that,
Yes,
that space.
you should come to that because
Yeah.
there's going to be about 15 artists there. And we usually get a huge crowd between 100 and 150 people.
Yeah.
And that's at the Glimpse Group in New York City.
I mean, I've interviewed artists before, but when I first started interviewing you, I found out about all of this immersive reality and things that weren't even in the dictionary, a few years back. How have you implemented augment and virtual reality into your multidisciplinary artwork?
Well, the virtual reality, it's always been my passion. I've been doing virtual reality since it came out, pretty much, since it started. So it's really exciting that it's so much easier now. Like you had to be a rocket scientist to use it before. So it's more of a joyful experience to even create in it because I can wear the headset and be free and move my arms, and I'm painting with different tools, or I'm creating geometric shapes in the space of the computer. So it's a joy to work in.
I know you love it. I can feel it. And even when you're here in person, I said, this woman loves what she's doing, and why not? If you're passionate about something, you go all in, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Can you tell us about the virtual environment that you've created at BronxNet's La Central studio? No shows? Yes,
I worked with Michael Tchaikovsky together. Him and we created the Halloween set that was used for Open Friday, and one of Bronx owned, as you know, from Open Friday, our famous. No, well, that's a different one that I'm working on right now. These we are. I can't reveal just yet the whole details of this particular set, but that's one that's a work in progress. And basically, we're hoping to make these sets accessible to the public, and here we are with Michael Mack
and Rena Valentine.
Exactly. So this was the Halloween set that we worked on, and you can see they're behind a green screen. It's a 360 green screen studio, but you'll see in the next slide, they in our switcher control room, which we give classes to the public at Bronx, they dropped in the Halloween set. So I hope you can show that one. Yeah. I had paintings I did of Edgar Allan Poe and some of the paintings that are from this series behind me. This hand.
I like it.
Thank you. I hope you show that one. But that was a medium was on BronxNet. Oh, I'm looking up his name. The medium. from the Bronx. I can't remember his name.
Well, while you look
But
that
they-
up, can you tell us about the classes? You said you give classes. You still give classes here at over at Lehman, right?
Actually, my classes have ended because I'm so busy with the set designs for the Bronx. But I also teach at St. Peter's University as well in their arts department.
Oh, good. Okay. Great. So I know you were looking for something a little while ago. Don't worry about it. We'll see if we can pull it
Okay.
up. And then we had something that we were going to pull up a little while. You said you wanted to show, what was it again? Because the guys were looking for it while you were talking.
Oh, the video of the Halloween set after it was put into the system. So you showed
Yeah.
the green screen version
Yeah.
for the Halloween set, and then I had a version that showed the actual video behind them.
Okay. So we'll get that up in a little while. Yeah. Now, you've had you've been working here at BronxNet for a little while. You have a couple of months left. Tell us about that
Yes.
experience.
I tell you, it's been so amazing to be one of BronxNet's artists, one of the 10 of artists. I'm just so honored, and what a great opportunity to work with BronxNet and to be able to do my art as well. Everyone's just been so incredibly supportive, and the chance that I've been able to give back to the Bronx and working with the other artists, with the classes that I taught, and some of the NFT projects, and now the set designs. I'm hoping I could leave some legacy behind for the Bronx. But they've just been wonderful. Everyone, great teams. The other artists are really inspiring to work with.
Yeah.
And the team at the Bronx, Michael Max, he's such an amazing leader and so
Bronx
inspiring.
strong,
And,
Michael Nat.
yes,
Bronx strong.
Bronx strong, and all of our producers and you, and then my team leaders, Carl and Bernardo, they're all amazing people. And Juanita, she created this whole program for BronxNet. Everything is just, it's so exciting to have been part of this. And I know it's the first time it's ever been done in New York, this type of artist. Actually, you could compare this to the New Deal that was done back in the 1920s with the artist, with Roosevelt, when FDR did that. This is kind of like
Beautiful.
That same type of program for artists being paid to do their art and to be part of this community and to give back. I mean, it's just been really amazing.
I love it. And thank you for all that you do and continue to do. You go to trishgianakis.com?
Correct.
All right. Listen, thank you so much. And make sure I got that empty chair and I feel so lonely right about now. When you come the next time, can you?
Yes.
Okay,
definitely.
There you go.
I promise.
Trish Gianakis, BronxNet CRNY artist. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you. We appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Bob. Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break. I've got more, a little bit more, coming up next on Open.
Congratulations, BronxNet, on your 30th anniversary. Bronx Fest is my show, and I had a great experience being able to bring my story to the Bronx Network. It's really changed my life, and I look forward to growing with the network, and I think that it's a wonderful place to grow and learn, and I think that everyone should take advantage of all the wonderful programs and things that go on here.
.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city, and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak, and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And welcome back. Our last guest is the founder of Diversity Empowered LLC, and he joins us to speak about how he went from losing his sight at a young age to becoming a positive light of encouragement for others. So please welcome to the show Jamal Reimer. Yes, yes, show to the beat, Joe. Here we go, here we go, here we go, yeah. Jamal, pleasure to meet you, my brother.
You as well, Bob.
Pleasure.
All right, perfect.
Tell us a little bit, can you share about your journey from facing sudden vision loss at the age of 17 to becoming a successful co-founder of Diversity Empowerment LLC?
No problem, no problem. So I'm gonna just tell a little bit of my story, okay?
Yeah.
So I grew up in the South Bronx.
South Bronx.
Right? Wasn't the best environment. My mom was living paycheck to paycheck. My dad was in and out of jail. And all I could do was hope and dream for a way out of my environment, Bob.
Yeah.
So I had developed a plan. My plan was to get into the NFL.
All right.
It was like set in stone. I had a full scholarship to college. Scouts was looking at me, you know, and I was that good. I believe I was gonna get drafted.
Yeah.
But on my first path to success, I wake up one day and I couldn't see out of both eyes. My mom, she had rushed me to the hospital. The doctors did surgery on me. And they said, Jamal, you'll never be able to see again. So, Bob, I just want you to think about it. One day you can see your family, your friends, everything around you. Next day, everything went pitch black.
How did you feel at that point?
I felt like I wanted to give up. I really felt like I wanted to give up. But this is what I told myself. I said, Jamal, you can't use it as something to keep you down. You got to use it as motivation to keep you going.
Yes.
So that's what I did. So I got up, right, started going to college. I started studying accounting and finance. I had a 4.0 grade point average. Bob, the people that could see they was cheating off of me. Right? And why I got into finance is because my mom, she was working 40 years because it's 9 children in my household. I'm one of 9 kids. She's working 40 years and she wasn't able to retire.
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy. So I learned finance because I wanted to help her set up her retirement. I wanted to help her invest. You see, because nobody talked to me about stocks, bonds, mutual funds, stuff of that nature. Like, we don't talk about that in the household.
Yeah.
But it needs to be spoken about. Because how are we supposed to retire and build wealth if we don't know where to put our money? So that's what I did. So I started studying accounting and finance, learned everything, right? Went to Wall Street. And now I'm in the inner city schools because I believe that the inner city needs it the most. Like, our community needs to know finance the most because we need to build wealth. But how do we build it if we don't know what to do?
So you're teaching financial literacy in the schools?
Yeah, in the inner city schools. I do it for students from middle schools to high schools. I also do the parents, and I teach the staff and the faculty because I've seen that the staff, they're working 40, 50 years too and not able to retire.
Yeah.
So it's like a broken link. And somebody got to put it together. And that's what Diversity Empowers do. Me and my partners, Renee Turnbull and Monique Judge Peterson, we in the schools, we're teaching and we're implementing. Yeah. Because I'm a fully licensed financial advisor. So I implement everything I speak about. And I believe I'm changing the community, or we're changing the community.
So wait a minute. So after we leave here today, we're going to the restaurant because you have the money bags.
Man, whatever you want, I got you.
Beautiful. So you have this outreach going on, not only for our public school system, but in our communities.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is this throughout the tri-state area, or you're starting here in New York?
Yeah, we started here in New York City first. We just became DOE vendors, right? So we started in the city first, but the vision is to do it all throughout the country, right? I want to create as many financially independent families as we can. I want to teach as many people as we can, because if people have the knowledge, they can apply it. You see, we can't determine who's going to apply it or not, but we got to give it to them first.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's where we come into play. That's where we come into play.
Who are some of the partners that are working with you?
Partners? Well, we're partnered with OSJ, right? What's the OSG? This is a transformational leadership, which is educators that help people, help uplift people and leaders. Like they gave me the opportunity to speak Saturday about my disability and how I'm doing change. And I just want to thank Dr. Rochelle Hines and Dr. Mackenzie for just giving me the opportunity to speak. And we also partner with a lot of public schools. We've been doing this, and I've been in over 30 public schools in the Bronx so far. 30. And just the faces, their faces, the shock that they just don't know.
Yeah.
Like they just don't know. They're in debt, like hundreds and thousands of dollars of debt, right? And it's another way out, but they just don't know where to go.
The students come up to you and they say, hey, Jamal or Mr. Reimer, thank you so much. I didn't know about this.
That's funny.
Now I'm going to start saving my money, and I'm going to help my parents, put some money away because, we want to talk about, saving some money for me, so that I can take care of mom and dad later on in life.
They definitely do it. And it's funny you say that. One time we did a workshop for us, 5th grade class, 3 5th grade classes. And after, they went to the principal and said, we want this in our curriculum. We want to learn more about this information. And then the principal came to me like, they love this so much, they want to make it part of the curriculum, what they're learning. And I'm like, that's great because they see that it's another way in making money.
Yeah.
They see that it's another way, because I grew up in the not best environment. The people that I saw winning was, doing illegal things. And if I'm creating an inspiration to people to do something different and they have another way out, man, that's a blessing itself.
Yeah.
That's a blessing itself. It's like
so you're also teaching generational wealth.
Yeah.
What do you tell people about that, students? And of course, you said you meet a lot of people who are educators that don't have their money right.
All right. The first thing I tell them is that it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. Right? You see, a lot of people want fast money. That's not how it goes. It's a little bit of money over a long period of time. Exactly. You see, working people, they probably don't have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 to invest, but they could do $100,000, $200,000, $300 a month. Right? Over 40 years, that could go up to $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah. So the secret is to start early.
Start early. Exactly. Start early. And it's also the rate of return you're getting on your investment. You see, if you check your savings account right now, the interest rate you get is 0.001%. Right?
That hurts.
If you're using the rule of 72, that means your money's gonna double every 72 years, Bob. Do you have 72 more years to go to retirement?
I don't think so.
But listen, if you got a higher rate of return, let's just say you had got 12% interest rate on your money.
Yeah.
Now your money's gonna double every 6 years. 6 years, 24%. Your money's gonna double every 3 years.
Yeah.
Just think about it, you got the same interest rate on your money that you do on your credit cards.
Isn't it something?
Then you could become financially independent, but people just don't know these type of things. And they don't know where to put their money. But just because they work in their job, because everybody needs to work, that doesn't mean you can't be financially free.
Yeah. So somebody who's just starting out, what do you tell them?
If somebody's just starting out, what do I tell them?
Yeah.
I tell them first thing, let's figure out where your money's going. First thing is the budget. I gotta see where your money is going and what you're spending on your money on to see where we could find the gaps and where we can invest some money. Second thing, you gotta have a Roth IRA. You have to have a Roth IRA. Man, that's gonna be tax-free interest when you're ready to take out the money. You don't gotta pay taxes on it. That's incredible. Third thing, if you work in a job, you gotta max out your job retirement plan. If it's a 401k and they matching you, take the match, that's free money.
Yeah.
That's free money.
You're matching, and if you have a pension program,
man, keep it. But you always got to invest outside because it's like retirement is a 4-legged stool and 3 is broken. Social Security is broken.
Whew.
Right? Pensions are going bankrupt and jobs just is shutting down.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs are going out of business. A lot of companies are folding. And if you're dependent on the company for your retirement, man, my mom has a friend. She's been a home health aide for 40 years, and she was about to retire. When she went to the owner of the company, asked her for her retirement plan, the owner gave her a $100 gift card. And this lady is 70 years of age. So what does that mean, Bob? If you're 70 and you don't got no retirement plan, all your boss give you is a $100 gift card for retirement, what does that mean?
That means you're, should I rap about it, or? That means you're out. Out.
Exactly. You're gonna have to keep working, and she only gets $1,000 a month from Social Security living in New York. That's not even enough to rent.
Yeah.
But you know, these things people don't know. They just know go to school, get a job, and save. They don't know where to save.
Yeah.
And they're not just educated about money and finance, but that's why I come into play. I bring Wall Street to Main Street.
That's what's up.
Wall Street to Main Street. Yeah. And even my disability, I don't think of it as a crutch. I think of it as I just got to do things different than other people.
Yes.
That's how I think of it. You know, God give the hardest battles to the strongest soldiers, so I'm out here just being a soldier.
And you're doing it, man.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Thank you.
I see you have a lot of supporters here with you. You want to give them a shout out too?
Yeah, I said Monique Judge Peterson, that's my partner. Renee Turnbull, that's my partner. We got my people's filming, Faceless Productions. If you need any audio or visuals, that's where you go. And like I said, OSG. My bad. OSG, Dr. Rochelle and Dr. McKenzie. Man, it's a family thing, man. We all just want to help the community, and that's what we're doing.
Well, we thank you for everything that you're doing, you know, and thank your crew, too. You get the whole crew. Look, everybody's shooting. Everybody's a camera over there. So what's next for you? You have something coming up. You said you're going to speak somewhere.
No, I spoke on Saturday at the conference.
Yeah.
I have a workshop tomorrow in a public school.
Okay.
And you know, we just working. We working on partnering with some superintendents in some districts in New York City, right? Then we're gonna take this thing nationwide.
There you go.
We're gonna take this thing nationwide.
I like it. Maybe we should get together and do something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We'll do that. Financial literacy in the schools.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Website, social media.
All right. Website, diversityempowered.com. Social medias, you find us everywhere, Diversity Empowered.
Yes.
Diversity Empowered everywhere.
I like it, man. Thank you for all that you do and continue to do.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I hope I make a song with you one day.
Let's do it. You ready? Want to start it out right now?
Not right now.
Everything's a start. God gave you 2 feet, put 1 foot in front of the other, and step through what you need to do. Jamal, thank you so much. Jamal Reimer, President, Diversity Empowered LLC. We appreciate you, my brother.
Man, thank you.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. We want to thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control your choose. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way you're right. So say you can, and you will. Right, Jamal?
That's right.
Jamal Reimer. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace. Yeah.